Hey folks, welcome back to DCS. So this was meant to be a live commentary game, but a GeForce Experience update decided to change my microphone settings, so none of it got recorded, which is really unfortunate because there's actually a lot of SRS team communication. And I'm usually a bit of a hermit and don't involve myself in that kind of thing, so the odd occasion that I actually do for it to not get recorded is a bit of a kick in the teeth. Ended up being pretty awesome in general. Loving the lighting. I really wish that the server would be at this time of day a bit more often. It's very early morning, so the sun has not yet come up. You will see it rising throughout the Zoe. Having to actually use the taxi lights to see where the hell to go to the runway was a new experience, and having to use the floodlights and the, to light up the instrument panel in the plane, that was something different as well. And shortly we're going to be cruising up above the clouds, cloud surfing, early dawn.
Looks like he's heading south.
Looks beautiful in this game. Not usually one for enjoying just flying around for the sake of flying around, because for me the enjoyment of the sim comes more from like the mind games you play with human opponents, but under conditions like this I can get behind it. I can kind of see why people fly civilian simulators in big Boeings and stuff for the visuals that look like that. And it's pretty chill and relaxing. There are a lot of people on SRS. Our team are communicating really well. At this point I've climbed all the way up here on burner and my tank is about to run out if it hasn't already. So when we drop that we're going to make our way Boeing 330, about 30 miles to the nearest contact. Mirage F1s, MiG-21s, Frogfoots, Heinz and Mi-8 hips are all what we're looking for today. So after a bit of getting lost and not being able to see anyone, I finally managed to find a guy that I overshot, and he's behind me dogfighting someone else. We're going to see him shortly. You would have thought that the lighting would have made seeing people a lot more difficult, but afterburners stick out like a sore thumb when it's quite dark in ways that they just don't in daytime. So ironically I was finding it easier to see people than I normally would be, even though it's nighttime basically. It was just a really enjoyable kind of weather setting, time environment to fly within. And I quite liked the little niggly bits, like I had to keep adjusting the brightness of my gun sight so it didn't dazzle me. And it sounds like a bit of a faff, but those little micromanaging bits and bobs you have to do are kind of what make it satisfying. If you can manage to muddle through and adjust stuff you don't normally touch when you're in a high stress situation, it makes you feel like a bit of a badass. So we did get some glancing hits in on that guy. I'm not sure where the friendly that was on him before has actually gone. Maybe he lost visual, no idea. But we're sliding in behind him pretty nicely here.
One MiG coming very close to see us now.
And this MiG must have been pulling really hard. He probably still is pulling really hard because he's not pulling away from me in the way that I expected. And I would have gone for a missile here if he'd been opening a gap, but because he keeps turning, I don't want to waste missiles on easy gun hits, especially when I'm not threatened by multiple people at once, so I'm holding the missile off. Save it for a shit hits the fan kind of moment. And the more this guy wiggles around, the more speed he's going to bleed, so I've just gone off the throttle right here. You get a good bead in as he slows down. Shoot some of the pylons off his wings, and he's not going to be able to recover from that. So that is kill number 1. Keep checking the map just to make sure that we're not too deep in enemy territory. I don't want to accidentally stray too close to an enemy runway and find myself getting, chewed into little pieces by SPAA or even SA-8 missiles. Let's skip ahead to the next engagement.
The MiG close could be that.
So I can see tracer fire in the distance, and I don't know what it is yet, but it didn't seem, like when you watch a Vulcan or something shooting at a jet, then the spray of shots will sort of cover a wide arc as it tracks a fast moving target. That's not what it looked like, so I'm assuming I'm looking for a helicopter. And it's very rare I actually find helicopters visually. but in this case, if it hadn't been for the traces, I probably wouldn't have seen this guy either, but I can see him just trying to land in this valley just past this building.
Yeah, he's on me.
And I'm leaning around my gun sight glass right now because the pepper itself makes it hard to see him until we get very close. But there he is trying to touch down. Helicopters are really difficult to hit in the F-5. It feels like your shots sort of fly over them even though the pepper's on them. It's quite weird. We do get enough hits in that he kind of rolls it over when he touches down and damages his rotor, and we do get credited with the kill, not immediately but in a little bit. And lots of shots hitting the ground down here. I'm not sure what that is. Got a friendly A-10 overhead. This friendly A-10 was one of the main people chatting on SRS. He was asking for cap support near TS, which is why I'm over here. I was trying to help him out. He kept dying before I actually got there. It was a bit awkward. It's nice that people actually communicate and help to point you in the direction that you needed, because if you only rely on the EWR calls, it only gives you the 5 closest contacts to you, and there might be a bunch of contacts that are nearer to them that, you know, somewhere further beyond, you're just not going to get the calls for that kind of thing. So relying on AWR only kind of means that you end up in your own little world and not actually benefiting the team too much, so communication is paramount. So here I can see a guy going up and a guy staying level, and I'm asking on SRS which one is which. So the guy I'm gunning in for is presumably the bad guy. Like I said, my mic didn't record, which is just aggravating, otherwise this would have been a really great video. I also couldn't get the external footage because there was an open beta update like the day after I did this, and every time there's an update it corrupts the track files, and I'm not computer savvy enough to know how the hell to revert the model back to the old thing. Anyway, my missile won't come off the rail. I realise it's because I'd accidentally selected rockets. I have no idea how the hell I fumbled that switch. But he was hanging in the air. Probably should have gone for guns, but I felt like it was going to be one of those situations where if I didn't shoot him right then and there, I wouldn't get him with the guns, because it's usually the easiest shit shot I end up fucking up. Because that is just how I am, unfortunately. And to all those people saying, probably would have been a good candidate for using the radar gun sight. Maybe. I am still trying to figure that thing out, but 9 times out of 10, I get better results just eyeballing it. Let's skip ahead to the next engagement. So I can see a contact to our 12. And it is a frogfoot. It's about 12 miles ahead of us. It says he's hot on the AWR calls, but he's actually kind of going left, right to left from our current position. He doesn't seem to be gunning right at me, and it looks like he's diving into valley cover, so I still have viz on him. I'm obviously going to be faster than a frogfoot. So my idea here is to purposely fly to his 6, climb up to bleed some speed off, and then pull in pretty hard to match speed with him, and basically just form up with him and just unload at point blank range. And this is actually pretty risky, because even though it's a frogfoot, if I overshoot, he's probably got R60s and he will be able to fire one off at me, so a slashing attack probably would have been safer, but I just wanted to test my energy management and see if I could actually match speed with him. So yeah, I've never actually seen anyone blow up like that before. I don't know if he launched something or jettisoned something and I actually shot and it detonated. I don't know if I hit something in him that makes him blow up. But I've never seen that happen from gun hits before. So that was pretty cool. Let's skip ahead again to the next one. At the time, EWR was saying that there were 2 MiG-21s in this area, and I can see 1 contact in front of me right now. I thought that the puff of smoke from his turning his burner off was another plane, but it's just the same guy. Unaware of me at this time, and I'm staying really, really low because anyone higher than me, it's very difficult to spot against the ground if people aren't in burner. Sun is kind of blocking an IR shot right now, and he has potentially seen me. No, he's pulling onto that F5. So I'd call SRS and tell that F5 to be careful. I don't know who he is though, so it's hard to be specific. And someone else shot him, I think. So there's a missile launch trail and a dead contact there. May have been the F5 that's dead. I actually don't know. But we get a really good line in on this 21. And this is looking very nice indeed. So if I can just not fuck up my lead. That probably actually would have been quite a good situation to use the radar gun sight in. But we hit him enough that he actually goes in from that, even though it's only light glancing hits, or it looked like light glancing hits. But there's a second 21 somewhere. EWR is saying 2.6 miles. So I'm scanning for him. And he somehow fired a missile in a head-on, which missed me, which was just chance. Might have been the sun that helped me out, actually, looking at the angles. We come around, and I've been having pretty good luck lately, so I thought, he's not going to hit me here. And obviously the one time that you chance it, I normally wouldn't take a situation like that for risk, but I thought, I'm doing pretty well, fuck it. And he shoots my wing off. So there I am eating my own words. Who was it? Bus Lightyear, MiG-21. Really impressive shot. Congratulations on that kill. I did get 5 of them before he took me down. Not a bad sortie. I'm still miffed that the live comp recording didn't work out, because chatting with everyone was awesome. Sovereign, who I've been seeing pop up in the chat, has actually since joined my Discord server, so if you want to get involved in stuff like this, hop on there, we might be able to get some stuff going. But thanks a lot for watching, folks. Hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.